Two Bends is sponsored by Paul Cerami Auto Group, the cheaper dealer.
Playoffs! Blues playoffs! I'm excited, man.
I can tell.
I'm fired up, and we're here, of course, in Ford Explorer 2016 Platinum.
It's nice, man. It drives like a dream.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Nice leather-wrapped steering wheel.
You look cool
like
driving
a king.
it. You look cool driving. Of course, it's from Paul Cerami, the cheaper dealer. Lifetime maintenance from there. Pretty cool, right?
For every pre-owned and new vehicle, lifetime maintenance.
I love it. Love it. Here we are at Scottrade, getting ready for this exciting, scintillating matchup. Chicago-St. Louis. Chicago-St. Louis, if it was Tiddlywinks, it would be exciting. Let alone hockey. The Blues and the Blackhawks, when you look at this, and I think this is fair to say, some people might disagree, Ben, St. Louis, Chicago is kind of like baseball was with Chicago and St. Louis. Point being that
they flip-flop.
They flip-flop, yeah.
Okay.
We've had a situation where if the Blues, of course, literally want to make it to the next round, they have to defeat Chicago. But also, figuratively and symbolically, if the Blues want to get to the level of a Stanley Cup champion, even a team that makes it to the conference finals, for goodness gracious, they've got to get past Chicago. Now they have this opportunity with Elliott between the pipes.
So with the Blues, a lot of this is a mental game, right?
Sure.
So you've got the 3 first-round exits the last 3 seasons. You got Chicago, who's dealt you exits before, and just the rival who always has the upper hand.
Yep.
But if you break it, if you try to ignore the history and you look at this on paper, you can find some reasons to be optimistic about the Blues' chances in this. I think it starts with Brian Elliott. He's going to be the guy in goal starting out. He's played great throughout the regular season, even coming back from injury to play great. And they have a pretty great backup in Jake Allen too. But I think Elliott has been looked over in playoffs past, and this will be his time to shine. You put him up against the Blackhawks goalie and Corey Crawford, who's been injured late, and has given up, I think, 5 goals in his past 3 starts, and then missed 11 games recently with some sort of upper body injury. So you got to give the goalie edge to the Blues, and that's huge in playoffs.
Right. Oh, no question about it. But how about this? I mean, a lot of the reason the Blues suffered in the postseasons of last was the same kind of core, if you will. And some of the same players are back. Backus is back, and he's healthy, by the way. Ott's coming back. Fabry's in there. But the idea of the guys like Fabry and Parayko, these new additions to the team, fresh playoff blood, if you will. I'm sincerely fired up about this team. And you look at a lot of the stats, and even the advanced stats, and even though Chicago has some of the better players in the NHL, I think the Blues have a better team.
And I think the fact that they're all healthy now, we haven't seen what a healthy Blues team can do.
Well, a non-healthy Blues team is one of the best.
Absolutely.
So imagine.
And they've said all season, when we get healthy. Well, now they're here. So let's see what a fully healthy Blues team can do against a Blackhawks team that really didn't play all that well down the stretch.
Right.
They didn't perform well. They didn't. They made some trades, made some moves before the trade deadline, and then didn't come out of it roaring at all. They even played even worse against playoff-bound teams.
Yeah.
So now, were some of the guys injured on their side? Sure. Are they notorious for coming and going and then turning it on during the playoffs? Yes. And they've won 3 Stanley Cups in the past 6 years for a reason.
Yeah.
They're not going to be overlooked, and the Blues have to answer the bell from round 1.
Right.
If they didn't get the Blackhawks in the first round and they won, and they had to face the Blackhawks, we'd be asking the same questions.
Sure.
So you might as well answer them in game 1.
Yep.
Can they either do it or are you the same old Blues?
Yeah, and the last thing, we just crossed Market Street. That's where the parade will be, if they ever indeed have a Blues Stanley Cup parade. And if they do, it's going to be because Tarasenko is on that first float, if you will, hoisting the cup. And Tarasenko, the star player for St. Louis, is also really good against the Blackhawks statistically. So I'm excited about 91 going up against the Blackhawks in this series.
If there's a parade, we will be there in our Paul Cerami Ford.
Of course.
We'll be the best car in the parade.
I know, no question.
Paul Cerami Auto Group, the cheaper dealer. Now exclusively offering lifetime maintenance with every new and pre-owned purchase.